Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the BFG Podcast. Today I'm here with an old friend. Uh, my friend Sushil here used to be on Masterchef back in the day in the 2010s, and now he owns a restaurant in Porirua that he'll tell you about today. So welcome to the program.
Thank you, Blake. It's a pleasure to be here.
So please tell the viewers, I'll give you the honour about how we met and so forth.
Yeah, absolutely, Blake. As Blake mentioned earlier on, I got to know Blake through a gig that I did back in 2013 at Kimiora School in Lower Hutt. So that was a year I came off my journey on MasterChef, and there was an opportunity for me to come and spend time at the school with the lovely kids and cook them a nice meal and also show them how I would prepare a nice rice dish and a curry dish. So it was a day filled with a lot of fun and happiness, and it's something that I would remember like it happened yesterday and for the rest of my life. So that is where I met very young, handsome-looking young boy Blake, which
Yeah.
was now which is now 10 years ago, just over 10 years ago, and obviously after that, our lives um, got busy and we got into different things. And Blake reached out to me and found me on social media, and we reconnected, which was brilliant. And here I am, looking at a grown up, still handsome young man, doing his podcast and doing his thing, which is such an inspiration to see and hear.
Yeah, and at the time of this recording, we met the last week before we recorded this, and this is the first time we've seen each other in 10, 11 years, so it was
That's
really nice. Um, so, so you came off MasterChef with Simon Gold, Ray McVinney, and I think it was Josh Emmett at the time, right?
that is correct, Blake. Yes, yep.
And I was trying to remember who won your season. I couldn't find it. Was it
Um, it was a good friend, Aaron Brunette from Raglan.
so Aaron Brunette? That's Aaron Brunette's season. So I'll give you a bit of backstory that Sushil didn't mention or may not know. How I knew about him first was I used to do uh, te- television stuff with a couple of my teachers back in the day, and they worked for the production company who ran MasterChef back in the day, and they did the auditions, and then they recommended Sushil to me. So these two teachers, who we won't name for privacy reasons, uh, 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 came came to the auditions, met Sushil, and this is when I was starting to doing podcasting many years ago. Said, hey, we met this guy. He might be a good friend for you, and all that. So that's a bit more backstory about how I remember meeting Sushil, and then he went to the school and said what he said. Now, I have been trying to find him for many a year, but unfortunately, we just lost touch, and I was really grateful to find him again recently. So, what have you been up to in this time since we unfortunately disconnected?
Yeah. No, well, I didn't know about the backstory to how my stint at Kimiora came about. So thank you for filling me on that. So that's brilliant to know. And yeah, as you said, it's obviously been 10 years since we did that initially. There's a lot of things that's happened. I believe, from a personal side, got a beautiful wife and two young kids, and we live very close to the restaurant that I own and operate in Aotea. Um, and after MasterChef, just to take you back, I ended up doing a couple of commercial kitchen experiences with, the like of Chef Michelle Lewis in Hooker Lodge, which was brilliant. Worked with a number of other chefs as well, just to get that experience while still keeping my job in IT. So Simon offered me, it was very kind and generous to offer me a job as a commie chef at Pravda. So I worked for Simon Gold at Pravda in Wellington on the weekends while I was still in IT. So after that, I did some events with Shed Fire Restaurant and Bar, did a number of cooking classes in my spare time. And then a couple of years later, I ran my food truck in Wellington, doing fusion street food, which was great. So carried on the passion for food, and what got me in MasterChef in the first place for a few years after that. And going back 4 years from where I am today, just woke up one day and decided that life was too short. I want to do what I love, and I wanted to give it a good red hot shot. So I decided to start my own business in food. So started off with doing ready-to-eat meals, healthy, nutritious meals made for people that I used to train with at the gym. So athletes, bodybuilders, so on and so forth. And that expanded, and the audience of people that I catered to grew into families and people in retirement villages and whatnot. So that was the business I started with 4 years ago in a very small commercial kitchen in Whitby. And from there, we all know with COVID, it was a very challenging time. A lot of people, thought that I was either brave or stupid to start a business right smack in the middle of COVID. But I always enjoyed what I did. Kept going, and that meals business expanded. And then I was fortunate enough to buy a business in Aotea, where I now have a restaurant set up, providing great coffee, delicious food for our local community in Aotea and the wider Purira region.
So a bit of backstory. So the food meals is how I began to find Sushil again. It's because my family is involved in the fitness industry. We're involved in advocacy fitness industry. For those of you viewers who've been watching me for a while who don't know, so with that entwining, this is how I came across Sushil's page, because he would do a lot for fitness, and unfortunately some stuff happened where I couldn't reach out to him straight away. And then on a whim, as he said earlier, I just reached out to him, and it's great to have a friend again.
Absolutely.
So that's really nice. So I got to observe your restaurant last week at the time of this recording. Don't know when this will be out, but it's a week at the time we're recording this last week. So, and I was very impressed. Among other things, many things what I can't go into here. Me and my grandmother do like restaurant review type things, and we were very impressed. So, for a bit of backstory for people listening or watching, so what we usually do is we'll go out to the cafe and judge it for stuff like accessibility, friendliness of staff, etc., etc. And when we did our debrief afterwards, we came back really impressed. We actually told Sushil this during our time there. We had a lovely chat with him and the staff. We were very impressed. And I suppose it helps that it's based in a sort of retirement village. But may I say, Sushil, it's a really nice example of what other businesses can do to promote accessibility. and yeah, I'm very impressed. So congratulations to you on that. As
Thank
a
you.
as a disability advocate, it made me very proud.
No, thank you, Blake, and thank you for your very kind and generous feedback. It was a pleasure having you and Nana last week, and as you said, we were surrounded by a wonderful community here in Aotea where we've got retirement villages and people with limited access to a number of places because of their disability and also health reasons. So we've made it a point to, as you mentioned, and I'm glad that you found it to be the same as what we would expect it to be in providing an environment where people from all walks of life and people with disabilities and whatnot are able to access, come into our cafe and enjoy their time here, making sure that they're well looked after, and also providing an environment where it's welcoming and for everyone to be comfortable in their own skin.
So how did you acquire the premises and what we are filming you in and what I came to see last week?
I'm sorry, Blake, can you repeat that question for me?
So how did you come to acquire the facility that you are in now?
Oh, right. As I mentioned, when I started the meals business, I didn't have my own kitchen. So I had to hire out a small commercial kitchen in our local church in Whitby. So they were kind enough to provide a kitchen, which I got commercially certified for using them for my meals. And I was looking to get a bigger kitchen, but at the time it was right, as I mentioned, it was right in the middle of COVID. So not a lot of places were open, and it was hard finding a good place where I could actually move into. So I happened to hear about this place, which is about 5-10 minutes from where I live, through a friend, saying that, oh, there was a cafe here, but they're currently closed. Do you want to go and approach them? So I came and spoke to the people who actually had this place. It was shut down at the time, and it probably was for sale, but I didn't know about it. And then from there, I decided to reopen this place, and there was a lot of work that had to go in terms of making sure, as you said, the facilities, interior, the renovations and whatnot. So I invested in that. And then, 3 years later, here we are, and well established in the community and doing what we love.
So from an advocacy standpoint, what gave you that idea for that ramp cage car park thing that we saw as we come in? So for people that are listening, there's like a special parking bay for someone in a wheelchair at the cafe. So if you ever go visit it, like a cage area with a speed bump in it, really.
Well, I can actually make it easier for you, Blake, because I'm actually sitting at the cafe now doing this interview with you. And if you don't mind, I can quickly take my camera and show you where it is so people can understand. Just over here, we're at this cafe, and as Blake was saying, as you can see, we've got a lovely outdoor space, but there is an easy access for people who come in and disabled, like the chairs or the car. They can park it right here, which is right outside our door, and there's a ramp that comes over here. With safer access, not through where the pedestrians are walking through. It's on the side, safe access with the ramp, and comes all the way and straight into our cafe door over here. Hope that helps, Blake.
That certainly does, and I hope that encourages some people to come along. So what was it like when you first opened the cafe in the COVID era? Was it difficult?
It was very, very challenging. I'll be honest about it. But in saying that, we were doing the meals side, which really helped a lot of people during COVID. And I was able to keep the cafe going because of the fact that I had the meals business that was successful in providing healthy, nutritious food to people who were in lockdown, and we were obviously there was a lot of health and safety checks and contactless deliveries and preparation and council approvals that we had to go through to be open to provide that support to the community. Start the cafe. There was two other cafes before I bought this place, and I can hand on heart say, we have been kindly welcomed into the community, and we have a very healthy list of followers, customers who we all know very personally, and we take pride in getting to know our customers personally. And if if I look at the start of when we had the cafe to where we are now, it's very humbling to see how far we've come and how grown and established we are in the community. Yeah.
That's another thing we were really impressed by, if you don't mind me saying, during our visit, is the personal touches. So for us, you don't see many cafes now. There are a few, but not many that will know you by name, that will chat to you by name, etc., etc. So during our review or our time there, however you want to phrase it, we really found that to be a nice touch, and that's something we took away as well.
Yeah, no, thank you, Blake. No, I take pride in that, and I know all my regulars by name, and I've got a great relationship. And it's the little things, that make a difference, especially in the current climate that we're in. Everyone's got their own challenges, and when people come out to dine in a place, they want to feel welcomed, and I've got a wonderful team who share the same values and same ethos as what I believe this business to display every single day. So it's very, very humbling.
Before we move on about your open hours and what you do for private luncheons, etc., do you find it sad that a lot of that sort of custom of the personal touch that you're kind of that you're providing is kind of
Missing and
dying or missing or
no, absolutely, Blake. And I still to give you an example, I still go to the same place that I go to support local businesses by buying certain products and subscribing for certain services and whatnot. And I think when you travel, you, as you said, that aspect of the business is lacking for whatever reason, and that's why it's so important to be able to have that personal connection and the relationship. And because people just don't come for good food or good coffee or a good product that you sell, they come for the whole experience. And it's simple things as knowing their name and checking in on them if they've shared something about their personal life and whatnot. Goes a long way and makes people feel very welcomed. And I personally look for that when I go out to dine, even if the food, I'm not I'm very easy. I'm very happy if someone cooks for me, so I'm not a critic. But in saying that, when I go to places, even if the food is not that great, I would still go back if I felt welcomed and served well, and and that goes a long way.
Agreed. So you so so that's something we're going to continue. Me and other friends, as well as yourself, are going to continue to advocate for, to bring that kind of style of
Hospitality.
Hospitality back. Yeah. Now moving on to your private function. So we are recording this on a Monday, and you are open Tuesday to Sunday. But on Monday, which is part of the reason why you're able to film, you are closed. But on occasion, you do private functions, from what I understand.
That is correct, Blake. So we are, so the name of the cafe, I'm sorry, we didn't mention that. It's Sushil's Musclechef Kitchen and Cafe here on 27 Aotea Drive, out here in Porirua. So we are open Tuesday to Sunday from 7 a.m. till 3:30 p.m. So on Mondays we are closed, but as Blake mentioned, throughout the year, we host a lot of private events and functions, people celebrating birthdays, milestones, whatnot, where we hire out the cafe and we can accommodate comfortably up to 40 people. So on the days that we're closed, we host, the retirement groups who want to come in and have their monthly catch-ups and whatnot, local community, family and friends wanting to meet for a special. So a couple of weeks ago, we hosted an 80th birthday. So we really cater to everyone in regards to what we do with food and whatnot. But at the same time, it's also welcoming people from different backgrounds and whatnot. And just a point to add to what Blake said as well, we host a number of different groups here at the cafe, ranging from retirement groups. We've got church youth groups. We've just recently added working from home group in Aotea to our mix. We've got a petang group, book clubs, knitting group, so on and so forth. So it's about the mission that that our business actually strives to achieve, or the mission statement is to bring people together and build healthier communities through our love for food. And that's exactly what we do here through our core values and providing quality products, consistency in our delivery, and most importantly, as Blake said, providing excellent service.
And that's why I decided to get back in touch with you, because your inclusivity in the business is what inspired me to get back in touch with you. And we are working on me and Sushil may be working on a couple of things which we can't talk about right now.
Yeah.
But I will let the viewers know in due course, and you'll be able to find it on our social medias. But what we are working on will be able to promote advocacy and inclusivity. So inclusivity, sorry. So make sure you watch out for those. So what would you like for the future of the cafe? What are your goals? I understand that you are looking at expanding, like maybe a night service or something.
That is correct, Blake. So I'm currently working on a plan and in the process of hiring more talented superstars in our community to expand for dinner service. So we are probably looking at launching it just before winter or around winter time. So opening 3 nights a week where we can provide a lovely experience for people, our locals especially, who've been asking me about the dinner service. So one of the reasons why I haven't done that just yet is because of the fact that we host a lot of private dinners. But going forward, I want to be able to, have the days that we're closed for the private functions and open a standard days, 3 nights during the week for dinner, where we can provide beautiful restaurant quality food that you would get when you travel into Wellington. And bringing that local in Porirua is always something that I've been passionate about. And we've done a few fine dining events here, and we were on the Kapimana News. We've had some articles in the local Porirua Council, magazines, where it's about bringing modern, good quality fine dining food. Not necessarily fine dining as in like big plates of food, big plates with smaller portions of food, but good comfort food where people from different dietary backgrounds. And as I said, it's very close to my heart to be able to provide an environment where everyone can come as a family and enjoy without feeling missed out.
Yeah. So will it be going back to your roots of the fine dining, or will it be your rustic cafe um,
So
style food that we saw last week?
yeah, so during daytime, as you saw, the cafe will operate as per normal, where it'll be our healthy, good food that you would expect in a cafe environment. But for the dinner service, I'm thinking it'll be more modern bistro kind of fusion flavors and a menu to cater again for all dietaries. So it's early days. And obviously, I'm still working on it. But when the time comes, I'll be able to share more information on that.
And you've been most welcome to come back on the program and give us an update, if you
Yeah,
would.
I would love to, Blake. Thank you.
Um, and so just to close, so are there any other goals for your um, restaurant slash cafe in the future that you'd like to achieve?
Yeah, so one of the things that is very close to my heart is how sewn into the community that we are. And I feel like I believe and I think and I know that all the customers who come here feel that this is a community hub. So for me, being a community focused cafe is very important. So on the weekends, I host something called a Musclechef talent and business community corner outside the cafe, where young talent in the community, people with small business ideas who want to launch, come and show and tell. I create an opportunity, a forum for that, and it's been well received. We do a lot of community events. We do a lot of sponsorship in the community. So I would like to very much see this business grow with the community, which is my goal, and obviously from a business service perspective, see how the dinner service goes, and potentially look at expanding into the wider Porirua region.
Would a goal be a bigger premises, perhaps?
Apprentices.
Oh, no, a bigger premises, a bigger building.
Yeah, depending on how we go, and again, given the current times that we're in, it's small, smart steps, and also for me, as I said, our core values are very important. Where I don't put myself, the business, or my team in a place where we are unable to deliver on quality and consistency in what
Of
we do.
course. Because ideally, you would like to have multiple. I assume you would like to have multiple locations over time.
Yes, yeah, that will be
Um,
a possibility. Yes.
yeah. Um, so as we wind down here, where can people find you, and how can they get in touch with you? I know you mentioned the address earlier, but I
Yeah,
know how to find you. But just let people watching and listening know how they can find you.
yeah. So you can, so our cafe, as I mentioned earlier, is located at 27 Aotea Drive in Aotea in Porirua. So, and we are the only cafe in this community, so it's hard to miss. And you can find us on our website, which is musclechef.co.nz, or on Google. The cafe's name is Sushil's Muscle Chef Kitchen and Cafe. So if you Google, all the information is there, and also social media. So we're on Instagram, Sushil_Muscle Chef, and on Facebook with our cafe name, which is Sushil's Muscle Chef Kitchen and Cafe, and also Sushil's Muscle Chef Meals. So on Facebook, on Instagram, or our website, and also on and Google, and physically located in Aotea.
And for people that are listening outside of New Zealand, because we do have a few, that's in the Wellington region here in New Zealand. So If you're either over here, if you want to have some great food, come to the suburb of Porirua.
Yes.
So that's all we've got time for. So thank you for coming on the program, Sushil. I'll get you to wait there, and thank you to the viewers, and don't forget to like and subscribe this video. You can also listen to this podcast on all of your favorite audio platforms, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Apple Podcasts, to name a few. And we will see you on the next one.